Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. This is a battle to show the new British Tier 8 Premium Tank Destroyer, the GSOR 1008. This tank destroyer is going to be in the large loot boxes, so good luck if you're buying them and to get this. Okay, what can we tell you about this one? Okay, it's almost the size of a medium tank. It does have a low profile, but it's fairly large. It's reasonably mobile. You can see it doing 60 k's downhill, but yeah, on uneven ground it's doing roughly 40 something k's. So we'll talk about some of the limitations and good points about this vehicle in this video. Now, the average damage of the shells is 320. HE shells do, I think, 420. Standard pen is 220, if I recall. Let's get that right. Yeah, 226, and the pen for the premium shells is 321, which is, you know, on tier 10 level. Now, as we knock down that tree, the AT-15A there, I guess, is forget there's a tank behind that, of course, so 2 blind shots, but you notice that bounced. So some of the good features of this tank: the frontal armor is relatively strong, the front hull armor is around 99mm and the turret 150 odd millimeters. So we're just lining up on these vehicles here. I don't think we'll get those shots in, but we'll try. Now, we've got the standard ammunition loaded at this point. Plenty of penetration for side armor, but here we've got basically a turret. So see, the dispersion is also relatively large. The base dispersion is 0.33, and I'm running the improved rotation mechanism because the hull traverses 29 degrees as well as the turret traverses 29 degrees, so running the IRM gives us another 5 degrees or so more per second of rotation to make it just a bit more mobile. Without that, I think it would be a bit sluggish. Now you can see it's a 4 shell autoloader. The interclip time is 2 seconds, the aim time is about 2.2, so you really, it'll reload by the time you've re-aimed. And here we go, we've got a T29 here, so put in the first shot, just a low roll there, second shot, third shot, and one more, we get the kill. So just did 960 damage there, so that was basically the hit points of that tank, but the total clip damage is 1280 if you get the average damage per shell. And the DPM, though, as you can see, it's 44 seconds in terms of reloading, so the average DPM is around about 1500 damage per minute, which is pretty low, to be honest. Okay, now view range is not bad. It's base 370 and we're running binocs here, and just going to go and try and go through the front plate, lower front plate if we can. So you can see how that was a good roll, 350, 379. Get some good rolls occasionally, but Jag's gone out of range from us, so we're just going to reload with premium to see whether, if he comes out, we can pin him at the angle. Just try and find a last shot, and then that just bounced, I think. So so dispersion's relatively wide, in contrast to some tank destroyers. The speed over ground, I would say, is not as fast as it was when it was in super test. So even though top speed is 60 k's, you're only really going to hit that going downhill. And across terrain like this, you're going to do around about 40 something k's per hour. So a bit slower than a Scorpion over the same, so Scorpion G over the same sort of ground. And you can see the reload time. Okay, we're just going to come out of reload just in time to miss the kill there on the IS-2 there. And we'll just go back to looking across to see whether we can get any targets. But yeah, the side armour I think is around 58mm and the rear 38. So yeah, it's not so tough from the sides, but good frontal armour, and you can bounce a few shots, but most of the time, yeah, you're not going to bounce. But the long clip time, that can be a handicap. So if you reload, with one shell left, yeah, you're going to wait 44 seconds before you can fire again. So we're going to get a shot on this SU. No, I don't think so. Behind a building. But yeah, you can use the mobility basically to change your situation. So in this particular battle, I'm going to turn around and go back to the base to see whether we can defend and use the gun depression. Now that's probably the major feature of this tank, along with the frontal armour, is that the gun depression is minus 11 degrees. So excellent gun depression. You'd find that you're poking over the hill more than you actually need to, and you can basically pull back just to see how you use your gun depression. Not sure if we'll be able to exercise that here, but as we're coming up to this point here, we are going to try and exercise the gun depression. Also, the other thing is, you can see from the health perspective, we've got 1200 hit points, so you can survive a few hits, which is good. And here we are, we're in a tier 8, tier 7 game, so got a bit of an advantage over some of the tanks. Right, this target 2, we're going to get a shot into him. Right, that just bounces on the side of his turret. So even though we had a premium round, that was just the angling of the turret ricocheted. So I'm going to go and try and flank him. So get out of view range here. We just dodged the RD shot. But here we're using the mobility basically. So you see the side looks a bit like an A46 from the side, but with a turret, a bit like the Medicore. So completely British design there. So they've got the cruiser style suspension, and you can see here with our speed across terrain getting up to 50 k's, but takes a bit of a run up. The weight of the vehicle is around 44 tons, and the horsepower of the engine is around 500, 600 I think, so you don't have a great power to weight ratio. It's in the range of about 14 to 15 horsepower per ton. And we're just trying to spot the target 2. Now, this is the sort of map where you can exploit the tank characteristics using the view range and the shell velocity. You can see with the premium rounds loaded, the shell velocity is 1411 meters per second, which is quite excellent actually. So along with the penetration, this is a good round to use in battles where you're facing tier 10s. Can penetrate the front of a tier 10 with this if you hit the right spot. But here we've got the look at the gun depression there as we're climbing the hill. It's pretty fierce then. So we're just coming up to this spot where we're just going to try and spot any tanks. There's still a few tank destroyers around here, but we're still looking for that target 2, and we may have passed him, but we're just going to come around in the gullies here and see if we can spot him. Oh, the other thing we're running besides improved rotation mechanism and the binocs is that you can see is we're running the low noise exhaust system. So with that, our camo rating with a full camo crew is just over 40.4 or something like that. Okay, there's a strip. We've been spotted there. He's done a bit of damage to us. I'm just going to focus him and using our clip. So we took 2 hits and got a damaged engine from that, but you know, we've still got a reasonable hit point. So managed to get rid of the Striv there, which is good. And let's see if we can help the VK with the target 2. I don't think he's actually going to have too much of a problem, but probably just be reloaded by the time we get back to that part of the battle. So going up hills, you get speeds around about 25 k's depending on the slope. So again, pretty slow in that respect, but they're definitely faster than a heavy tank. But it's, you know, again, you know, you're going to get outpaced by Scorpion G. So just to give you an idea of the overall speed of the vehicle. So we have reloaded now. So 44 seconds can go reasonably well when you're traversing around the map, but when you're faced with enemies bearing down on you, it's a really long time. So just be careful when you do take your reloads, and if you've got 2 shells in the clip still, I think it's probably worth waiting to fire those if you've got the chance to kill the enemy that's approaching you. Anyway, so trundling along here, 37, 40 k's an hour. This is, yeah, it was supposed to have been a mobile tank, and the word that came out of Super Test was that good damage per minute, but they have nerfed the characteristics somewhat there. So the other thing about it is with the gun dispersion, with the hull traverse, the bloom goes up substantially. As you can see, as we're turning the tank, the aim circle is getting quite large. When we stop and all we're moving is the turret, we get much less dispersion. So that's one thing to consider, to even with the improved rotation mechanism and the 10% reduction in dispersion. Okay, now here's an example. This is where the accuracy can come in and the rounds. So it's still using premium rounds. We've got the AT-15A there, relatively strong armor, but we managed to clip him out there, and that brings us up to what we'll probably finish on, I think, in this match, just under 3,000. I'm still looking for the Borsig, and I'm not paying attention yet. So as we're coming across, Borsig's my left, but yeah, I don't notice until we get there. He shoots us and sets us on fire. So petrol-powered engines, a 20% chance of fire as well. So good thing to keep your automatic fire extinguisher on the tank. You could run food, of course, to improve your dispersion and other sort of characteristics, but yeah, at this point I wouldn't do that. I'd just keep the auto fire extinguisher. That's the first time I've been set on fire though in about 10 games, so yeah, it's only typically when you're going to be shot in the engine. Anyway, that's the game. I hope the explanations about the vehicle tell you a bit about it. It will come up in the loot boxes with a bit of luck, so good luck if you're using the large loot boxes, and we'll see you again on the battleground. Cheerio.